Folks, happy Monday. I thought today we would do something a little bit different. We would do Monday Motivation / vlog. So one of the big challenges that I've been facing is trying to get exercise while at home. And recently, I want to recognize my privilege here. I have the ability and the means to work with a personal trainer, and she has taken our sessions online. So I worked with her. Her name is Kristen. If you've seen some of the other vlogs, you might have seen her before. But she developed a program for me to do at home. And I thought maybe I would show you, for those of you that maybe are watching that also have physical disabilities. I also want to recognize that part of my privilege of my disability is that I can get out of my wheelchair. I know some of you don't have that ability. So some of these can definitely be modified, but I thought this might help you, give you folks a glimpse into how I work out as someone with a physical disability. And maybe it'll give you some ideas. And then for those that have physical disabilities, maybe this will help you start doing some of your own exercises. So I've got a whole gym in a bucket. I'll show you what I mean. So, this is what I mean by gym in a bucket. Now, I've got a whole bunch of stuff, but here's what we're gonna need for today. Yoga mat for stability. This for abs, it'll make sense in a second. 2 dish towels, cork yoga blocks, and these bands. That's what we're gonna need for today. Let's get started. So, first round, 3 sets of push-ups and abs for 10 reps. Here we go. Okay, so next is abs. I had to put my little yoga cushion on these blocks because, truthfully, it hurts my balls. So I need a little cushion. So this is how I do my abs, because I can't do crunches like some of y'all can that maybe don't have a physical disability. Like I have a pelvis and I can like crunch it a little bit, but it doesn't work as well. So this is what I do for abs instead. That's 1 set. 2 more to go. All right, now that we got that going, next is back, biceps, and triceps, but I have to do a little bit of setup here. First, I'm gonna use my black cable because it's the harder one, and I got my workout written down on my iPad. But for biceps, I gotta tie this to this table. This table is made of marble, so it's super heavy because my arm's so huge. But because it's so heavy, I'm not gonna be able to like drag it across the floor. So it's a good anchor. So I'm gonna tie this on there first. Next, little handle. And then we're gonna use this for the back exercise. 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps. Here we go. Boom, first set. Next, biceps. We're gonna have to back up. Stand by. Here we go. Next is triceps. I know that the lighting isn't great here, but sorry, you're gonna just have to deal with shitty light because this is the best way for me to do it. You ready? So huge. Y'all ready for the time lapse? 3, 2, 1. Next, we're gonna focus on chest and a little bit of shoulders, but to do that, we gotta move to a different part of the house. Let's go. Moving on to what my realtor called half den. All right, so here's the setup to work on chest. I've tied this black cable to this doorknob. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with these in just a second. And then I also brought my yoga mat, obviously my water, my yoga mat to keep me steady, because when I do these cable pulls, my sweats just slide against the floor. So I need a bit of like friction to steady myself, or it's not gonna be helpful. So a funny story real quick before I do this. My trainer looked at me when we went to go do the chest up, and she was like, listen, I know this is funny and I probably know the answer, but you don't by chance have any socks at your house. And I was like, well, I've got one sock that I keep a tennis ball in to like roll my back out, but no, I only have one sock. She was like, I figured. So she was like, get some dish towels instead, and we're gonna do flies this way. So let me show you. Again, 3 sets of 10, here we go. Here's what they look like. Start here, slide, oh, and then back up, slide, and then back up. Terrible. Remember, this is tied to the door handle. Just your standard issue pulls. You guessed it, another time lapse. Here it comes. Are you ready? Set, go. Last thing is shoulders. We gotta go back in the living room / kitchen. Come on, let's go. Last one is these lateral pulls. I hate these too, but you get the idea. So just straight across. You get the idea. I'm gonna time lapse this now. Ready? Here we go. That's it. It's about 15 minutes altogether. I'm tired. I'm gonna be sore tomorrow. So this is what I do to like work my muscles at home. That's what exercise looks like for me at home, at least trying to like lift weights. It's obviously not weights, it's bands, but you know what I mean. And then I also do some running with the Peloton app, like pushing myself in my wheelchair, but it's boring and it's hard to film. So you could just find an app that helps you with that sort of stuff when it comes to cardio. However, let's do a quick check-in, then let's get to the science of why exercise is so important. So, how was your week? How did things go? For me in particular, I found this week really challenging. I was having a really difficult time concentrating. I wasn't sticking to my morning routine, and I found myself getting distracted by my phone more. So I was hard on myself this week of like, you need to be better, and it's like, I just couldn't get there. I was also talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about how, you know, being in physical distancing, it's almost like raising a kid. I've never raised a kid, but I have a lot of folks in my life that have, and I've seen, you know, how it goes. And it's like in the beginning when you first have a kid, you think you've got everything figured out, and then the next day everything changes. And that's how I'm sort of processing being at home this long. I personally am still enjoying it, but there are aspects of it that I have been finding challenging. One of those things was focusing this week. So I'm going to get back to my routine in the morning, and hopefully that will help me concentrate more this week and stay on task. Okay, so let's talk about the science behind why exercise is so important. Because I've heard this a million times of people saying, exercise is so good for you and it's so good for your mental well-being and your mental health. But like, great, but like, why? As I might have told you, I'm taking this course online through Yale called The Science of Well-Being. And this week happened to be on the benefits of exercise and how this is one easy, free way to boost your happiness. And there's been a bunch of psychological studies, and what they found is by exercising for 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, this will drastically boost your happiness. On top of that, it would also boost your cognitive abilities and cognitive achievement. And what cognitive abilities are is basically just how we use our brain and how our brain helps us do tasks and also learn and process and do complicated things. So exercise helps boost those things, and they found that, you know, when they were studying young people and when they paired exercise with them and then had them take a test, they realized that they did so much better. The folks that exercised and then took a test did way better. And then they also found that in folks that are older, like 60 and plus, by exercising, this was a great way, instead of just doing cognitive activities, you know, like games and those sorts of things, exercise boosts their cognitive achievement and their abilities way more than just like doing something on your phone or doing some sort of cognitive based game. Does that make sense? Also, exercise releases dopamine. Which is a neurotransmitter, which is just a fancy way of saying something that your brain releases in your body. So, you know, after you eat like your favorite meal or your favorite dessert and you like feel so good, that's dopamine. And the same thing happens after you exercise as well. So this is a really easy way to just release that sort of happiness neurotransmitter that will radiate through your body, and you can do that, you know, 3 times a week. Do it whatever feels right to you, whatever exercise works for you. You know, I showed you what works for me, but that may not work for you. And for me in particular, I can't exercise every single day. I have to exercise every other day. It's too much on my body, and there's too much strain. But I really hope that this week you take the time to start to incorporate exercise into your week. Again, 3 times a week, 30 minutes, even if it's just going for a walk. That will give you the same type of feeling and that same release of dopamine. Folks, in the comments below, tell me some of the ways that you're exercising, some of the ways that you're either at home or if you're able to get out and do things. We would love to hear some ideas or maybe some apps or some equipment that you're using that you're finding helpful. We want to use this community to support each other in that regard. Thanks for coming back and checking us out. You know, do the old like and subscribe if you're feeling it. And folks, I hope you have a great week. Happy Monday. As always, you're my new best friend. Call me every 5 minutes. Goodbye.